All right, so again, welcome everyone. Now, before we get started, we want to get a sense of who's on our session today and where they'd like to serve. Now, if you've seen this before, you know what to do. And for those of you who haven't, in the upper left corner of the screen is an icon that looks like a pencil. Click on that annotation tools and on the left side of your map and point on the map where you would like to travel or serve abroad. And you might want to make this full size or full screen so that you can see the entire thing. And again, we're doing this and I'm really bad at geography. So a lot of these places I don't know, I just know them by region. Let's see, my name's Calvin Landrum, and I would really like to go to South Africa. Looks like we got people all over the place. Wow. Let's see, we got Hampton Rose, maybe, in Africa. Let's see, we've got Anna Reyes in the good old US of A. I think we've got some people in Canada. I'm looking at Jessica Leibowitz, and I think that's somewhere in Asia, and I can't tell. We got a few people who are just circling the whole thing. They are ready to serve wherever, whenever. I like that. That's good. All right, cool. So this is good to know. This is great to see. I'm glad everyone, thanks for participating, and it looks like we have a lot of folks from all over the place who are willing to serve all over. Now, today we have folks from a few different programs represented. If you did our poll at the beginning, you can see we've got mostly VISTA members here, a few state and national folks, one little sole NCCC person. Hey, out there, I'm an NCCC alum, so I'm with you in solidarity, and a few AmeriCorps alums. So welcome, everyone. Really excited that you're here today. Again, if you didn't see that poll feature, you may be on mobile, and you won't be able to see that. So again, great to know we have so many ambitious folks out there. I want to introduce you to a few others. These are our presenters for today. I'm Calvin Landrum with AmeriCorps Vista. I'm a training coordinator here. If you've ever joined a Vista webinar, there's a good chance you've heard my voice before. We've also got Amy Mott and Libby Gadboy from NOLS. And we've got Jason Schmidt from Outward Bound. And we're going to hear from all of them a little bit later after I go run through the Education Award. Which reminds me, let's take a look at our agenda today. So today we're going to be doing a very brief overview of the Education Award. We're going to talk about the eligible uses of the award, and then we're going to transition to hearing from NOLS and Outward Bound about actually getting outdoors with your Education Award, and then we'll have a moment for questions and resources near the end. Cool, and I'm looking at the chat. I see Justin says he wants to serve in Antarctica. Good luck. I hate the snow. It's not my thing, but more power to you, Justin. I hope we can get you to Antarctica with your Education Award. So before we jump into the heart of this presentation, I want to take a second to address our audience today. Now, again, this presentation was put together by AmeriCorps Vista and by the AmeriCorps Vista program with the primary audience being Vistas. That being said, the content that we're presenting is applicable to any AmeriCorps member that has earned or will be earning an Education Award. So that means you lone NCCC folk, AmeriCorps State and National members, Senior Corps volunteers, any of these people can use the information that's presented today to use our Education Award to go outside and have some adventure. Now, there's nuances between each AmeriCorps program that we'll try to address as they come up, but I may not have all the answers, and you may need to do a little bit of additional research. So with that out of the way, let's jump on in. So what is the Segal Education Award? If you're on this webinar, I'd say there's a good chance that you probably already know what the Education Award is, or you already have one. But quickly, the Education Award is given to AmeriCorps members who successfully complete a full term of service. The award amount is tied to the Pell Grant amount, which is currently $5,920. Now, when the Pell Grant amount goes up, so does the amount of the Education Award. And the award is good for 7 years after the completion of the term of service for which it was earned. So if you're a VISTA member, after your 1 year of service is over, you earn your Education Award and you're out. For NCCC folks, once you are done with your 1,700 hours, I believe it still is, you earn your Education Award and you are good to go. It's 7 years after you have it. Chastity, 7 years. Thank you so much. So there's a few other specific details about the Education Award that don't directly tie to your Education Award to get outdoors, but that are good to know. Now, the option to transfer your Education Award is not available to VISTA members or NCCC members, so that means you can't give your Education Award to someone else. Only AmeriCorps State and National members who began their service when they were 55 or over are eligible to transfer that award. Now, should you decide to serve multiple terms, you may not receive more than the value of 2 full-time education awards. So I like to think of it on a point system. 1 year of service equals 1 point. If you do a half of a year of service, that's like 0.5 points, so you have like 1.5 education awards, and you're able to earn up to 2 full education awards. Finally, the Education Award is counted as taxable income in the amount that's used and the year that's used. And we have an entire webinar on the Vista campus dedicated to the tax implications of Vista benefits, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that here, and we'll post the link to that in the webinar chat for you to check out later. It's also my voice talking about taxes for an hour, but I promise you it's highly informative, and there's a lot of really good information in there, and I bet it'll answer a lot of questions that you have. All right, so there are 2 types of payments that you can make using your Education Award. One is federal student loan payments, and 2 are eligible education expenses. Now, you don't have to choose like one or the other. You could use your you could use your Education Award for both, meaning that you could make some student loan payments right after your service and also pay for future education expenses later. It's really up to you how you want to use the award towards those things. Now, briefly, because this is not a presentation focused on loans, but I wanted to go over, sort of what are qualified student loans. And when we talk about qualified student loans, we're talking about federal student loans. And these are loans that are backed by or given by the federal government and are from the U.S. Department of Education, such as Stafford loans, Perkin loans, or Grad Plus loans. And although the government technically owns these loans, they may be serviced through other companies like Nelnet, ACS, or Fed Loan Servicing. Private student loans and Parent Plus loans are not eligible for repayment with your Education Award. And if you're unsure of which type you have, you should contact your lender and ask them. That's the easiest, most simple, and straightforward way. Call them up and say, hey, what kind of loan do I have? We also have plenty of resources on federal student loans on the Vista campus. If you go, you can search in the bar student loans, and you'll find everything that we have about that topic there. So this is the good part. This is what we came here for. Is we're going to talk about eligible education expenses, and by that we mean education expenses that are incurred at a Title IV institution. So what are Title IV institutions? They're institutions that can receive federal student aid, and there's over 30,000, all over the world. Now, these include universities, community colleges, and many other educational institutions. A great way to find out if a school is Title IV eligible is to check out the FAFSA website, and we'll share the link in the chat and later on in the end. But essentially, if the university or institution that you're attempting to go to can receive federal student aid, so if you can, take out a federal student loan and apply it there, if you can get a Pell Grant and apply it to that school, you can use your Education Award to go to that institution. Same for the GI Bill. If you're a veteran and you have a GI Bill, you can if you can use that, you can use your Education Award there. And so you can use your Education Award at these eligible institutions for things that are in your total cost of attendance at the university. And these are items that are billed through your university and can include what you see on the screen, things like tuition, fees, books, supplies, and room and board. And it's really cool because a lot of these institutions also offer matching grants or scholarships for service members who use their education award. If you go to nationalservice.gov, you'll find a list there of matching institutions. It's really awesome. You know, if you use your education award, some places say, oh, well, we'll just double that for you and give you extra money. It's a really neat program, and you're truly able to advocate for yourself and display the value of your service and ask them if they'll match it. So the Education Award is managed through your MyAmeriCorps account online. Now, once you've completed your year of service, a link will become available in your account that lets you submit an Education Award payment request. You'll visit this form each time you're ready to use your Education Award. On the form, you enter the payment type, the amount authorized, and then the institution where the payment will be sent. Now, once you submit a once you submit a payment request, a record of your request will appear in your account homepage. Now, if for some reason the institution denies the request payment, which happens sometimes, I can tell you from personal experience, I've had payments denied. It's generally because, for me, it was because I was sending it to the wrong lender. They sent me an email and said, hey, quit sending us this request. You don't have a loan with us. But they will put a reason for the denial in your MyAmeriCorps account. So make sure that you're checking that and following up. It's also really important to note that this cannot be automated. You have to make a request for each payment that you wish to make. And you'll see on the screen that we've circled the field for the payment type because we want you to be aware that there are only certain types of payments that you can make using your Education Award. All right. And, you know, that being said, we know that attending a traditional four-year university isn't the ideal experience for everyone. You know, there's trade schools. Some people are just done with school. They've done it already. You know, they're ready to move on, and they just want to maybe take a class or two. So just keep in mind that there's many trade schools and non-traditional schools that are on the Title IV list, including things like flight training, culinary school, cosmetology. There's a tattoo school, which I think is really cool, and there's even, you know, things like massage therapy. I know of someone who got yoga teacher training using their Education Award. So it's really, really, really flexible. You just have to do a little bit of research. Now, you should also know now, you know, like I said, you don't have to enroll in a 4-credit program to use the Education Award. You can, you know, take classes in like guitar, photography, or anything else that's offered through an eligible college, university, or institution. So, again, the overarching sort of concept here is that you can participate in these programs as long as they are paid through a Title IV institution. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, if you're interested in traveling or studying abroad, you should take a look at the list of schools that accept federal financial aid on the FAFSA list. If you sort the list alphabetically by country, you can see that there are schools on the list from Canada, England, Australia, Mexico, Israel, and others. So you're able to, you know, use your Education Award to pay for any expenses incurred at these institutions. So there's also some unique opportunities with prominent outdoor education programs that we are very excited about and that we're going to be talking about today. NOLS, Outward Bound, and Erie Backcountry Medicine are 3 outdoor education schools that have partnerships with Title IV schools that allow you to use your Education Award funds towards their programs. Now, in just a moment, we're going to hear from our special guests from NOLS and Outward Bound about the types of programs you can participate in and how you can use your Education Award. Before we get to that, I do want to play a little game to see how much you already know about the Education Award. Now, if you're a VISTA member, you should have taken the VISTA benefits course on the VISTA campus, so let's take a look and see how much you remember. I'm going to read off a series of statements and scenarios. Please use the same annotation tools that we used earlier on the map to place your arrow in either the yes or the no section after we read the statement. So number 1, I can use my Education Award to purchase dinner. What do we think? I'm seeing some, oh, I see a lot of no's. I got a couple yeses, a couple brave yeses out there. All right, so let's check out the answer. The answer is No, you cannot use the education award to purchase dinner. However, you can use the award to pay for your meal plan at an institution. So again, the key there is that the cost of your room and board and your meal plan is wrapped into your cost of attendance, so you can use your education award to pay for that. All right, next question. I can use the education award to pay my private student loans. Let's see, what do folks think? Let's see. I got a lot of no's here, got a lot of no's here. What's the answer? Our answer is no. You cannot use your education award towards private student loans. We just went over this. If you said yes, come on, shame on you. No, I kid, no shame. So you can only use your education award towards federally backed student loans at qualified institutions. Again, Title IV institutions, all that good stuff. All right, next question. I can use the education award to go to cosmetology school. What do we think? Justin, you might just be being ornery, and it's okay. It's okay, because we just covered this one. So the answer is yes. You can use the education award to attend, beauty or cosmetology school as long as the institution is able to receive federal funds. All right, so we've got one more question. I can use the education award to travel to Europe. What do we think? All right, interesting. All right, so we got some yeses and nos. David Gibson in the chat says yes. Yudmila says yes. Awesome. So what's the answer? The answer is, drum roll please, yes and no. Everyone is correct. Everyone wins. If you're looking to buy a plane ticket to France, after your service is over, you're out of luck on that one. That is not a qualified expense or use of the education award. However, if you are in school or take a class that requires you to spend time abroad, you can use the education award to pay for that course and the associated fees. Granted, it's billed through the university. Now, for example, if you wanted to take a class that studies winemaking in New Zealand, and part of the requirements for that class is a trip to New Zealand, you're able to pay for that class using the education award. And as it turns out, that is an actual degree program through Oregon State University, so you should go check that out, all of you future vintners and winemakers. So thanks everyone for participating and playing along. We're going to move on. Let's talk about NOLS. And I do just want to say, in the chat, can we keep it focused on our topic at hand? I appreciate the conversation about B-Score, but we're here to talk about the Education Award and the things that we are discussing here today. So now that we got that out of the way, and now we all know about eligible expenses and uses of the Education Award, we have some background. Let's get to what you came for. We're first going to hear from Amy Motz and Libby Gadboy from NOLS. So thank you both for joining us, and take it away, Libby.
Thank you so much, Calvin. This is Libby Gadboy. I'm calling from NOLS. Amy and I are here in Lander, Wyoming, and we're excited to be talking to all of you today. I wanted to give you a little background about me. I am from Minnesota, and I took the Baja Ocean semester in 2007. That's a 3-month expedition course, and it also included a Wilderness First Aid certification. I've been working for NOLS since 2009, and currently I'm working as the University Relations Coordinator, meaning that I help coordinate AmeriCorps payments for NOLS expedition courses. My sea kayaking and sailing course in Baja was a really incredible experience for me. It allowed me to swim with dolphins and sea lions and learn how to properly and independently sail both a longboat and a keelboat. I learned how to read charts, how to navigate narrow passages, how to roll a kayak. Also learned what to do if you're bitten by a scorpion, or how to identify risks and hazards, and how to be comfortable without my cell phone and social media for that long a period of time. Some of the big pieces that you can take from a NOLS course, and what I think I took away mostly from my NOLS course, was a tolerance for adversity and uncertainty. In addition to all the great things at NOLS that I experienced, I also experienced some challenges. I was actually bitten by a scorpion. I had to re-anchor one of our sailboats in the middle of the night with only a headlamp and a water bottle for a light. And I was out of communication with my family and friends for the full 3 months of my course. That being said, you know, it's one of the most valuable experiences that I've had in my life, and it allowed me to help find me a career that I love. And so it's really, my NOLS experience really shaped my future in a lot of different ways. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I wanted to tell you more about who we are and what NOLS is. NOLS is a comprehensive wilderness school. We teach students communication skills, good judgment, and grit through developing outdoor skills, risk management, and hands-on wilderness medicine expertise. Students graduate from their courses prepared to step forward and lead their communities in a changing world. We were founded in 1965 in Lander, Wyoming, and we are still headquartered here, kind of a tiny little town in the shadow of the Wind River Mountains, so you should come check it out. It's pretty awesome here. Our mission at NOLS is to be the leading source and teacher of wilderness skills and leadership that serves people and the environment. Our community, our staff, our students, our trustees, and our alumni share the same commitment to wilderness education, leadership, safety, community, and excellence. And we work really hard to protect the wild places that are our classrooms and to help instill that in students who come to NOLS about what value they hold in the long term. Where we are, we've got this little map here to show you the different places that we operate in. Our locations are all over the world. You can see we're in the United States, kind of all over the place. We're also in Canada, up in the Yukon. We're in Mexico. We are in Chile, Tanzania, Sweden, and New Zealand, and India. And so can really see a lot of the world doing NOLS. And like Calvin had mentioned earlier, you can use your award to pay for courses in all of these locations. Courses that are eligible are backpacking, mountaineering, rock climbing, sea kayaking, skiing courses, whitewater rafting and canoeing, sailing like I took, horse packing, snowboarding. There's a whole bunch of courses that you can take using your education award, and you can use your education award for any eligible expedition course through NOLS or wilderness medicine course through NOLS. So our wilderness medicine courses that are eligible are kind of across the gamut. They run 2 days to 30 days. The courses that we have through wilderness medicine are anything from a wilderness first aid certification up to a wilderness EMT certification. We do also have wilderness upgrades for medical professionals. And so if you are currently a nurse or physician, you can actually get a wilderness upgrade that will allow you to work in remote settings that have fewer resources. And that's available through NOLS, and that is also an eligible expense that you can use your AmeriCorps Education Award to pay for. So that can be kind of a nice career move. It can also offer you more certifications that you may not have. Other certifications eligible for our courses are listed on our website as well, but include things like whitewater, river rescue, rock rescue, avalanche training, things like that. The way to utilize your award at NOLS is actually through a partnership with Western State Colorado University, and they're based in Gunnison, Colorado. NOLS is not a Title IV school, so like Calvin said earlier, we cannot actually directly accept AmeriCorps Education Awards, but thanks to our partnership with Western State Colorado University, we kind of have it's a win-win situation because NOLS students are able to utilize their AmeriCorps Education Awards to pay for any NOLS expedition course like I mentioned, and they can also earn college credit for their course. You can earn between 1 and 19 credits with Western State Colorado University, depending on the course type and what your personal goals are. And credits are $125 each. And so you'll actually submit your AmeriCorps award directly to Western State, who will keep the cost for their credits that you are earning and then forward your remaining balance to NOLS. So it's a really great partnership. We're super psyched to be able to have that partnership with them, and we've actually been partnering with Western way back when into the 70s when we actually first started working with them to host wilderness medicine courses. So our relationship with Western goes way back, and we're psyched that it's evolved in this way. More details about how to use your AmeriCorps Education Award can be found on our website, nols.edu/financial aid. You'll find all the details there about where and how to process your award and what's involved in it. It's a pretty simple process, but there are a few steps, and so we're happy to answer any questions as that time comes. A few perks that we have for a VISTA alum. These are some cool benefits that we have specifically for students who completed an AmeriCorps term. Students who are interested in taking a semester or year-long expedition course with NOLS are actually eligible for a $2,000 match to their award. And so NOLS will honor every AmeriCorps student with a $2,000 match as long as your award is $2,000 or more. If you don't have a $2,000 award left or don't have that much remaining, we will match up to what you have. And so that's kind of a great perk for students. It's a way to help bring some of those more expensive courses into a more accessible place, and we're really excited to be able to offer that for Vista alum. The other perk that we have is that, like I'd mentioned, you can earn college credits from Western State Colorado University. They're available for every expedition course, and you can earn between 1 and 19 credits, depending on, like I said, your course type and the length. Yeah, and so the the credits that you can earn from Western are in leadership, leave no trace, wilderness, snow, water, and land-based special topics. And so depending on what your major is or what you're hoping these credits will go toward, they can sometimes be applied directly to your degree program, and in some cases they do come through as elective credits. And so you can reach out anytime. We'd be happy to answer some of those questions and help you understand how those credits might transfer for you if that's something you're interested in pursuing. I want to throw it over to Amy now. Amy Mouse is here with me, and she's going to tell a little bit about her story and her correlation with both AmeriCorps and NOLS.
Cool. Thank you, Libby. So my name is Amy Mouse, and I've done a little bit of AmeriCorps sandwich where I did a NOLS course, which led me to AmeriCorps, which led me back to NOLS. So I'll kind of give you the background about my story, and then why I think the combination of AmeriCorps and NOLS, is the perfect combination of courses and skill sets, to be an employable person out in the working world. So when I was in college, I went to Eckerd College down in St. Petersburg, Florida. I wanted to do a study abroad that was out of the box, that was different, that was going to give me time in the outdoors, which I had always wanted to do. And where I was going to learn excellent communication skills. That was something I'd always wanted to learn, and I wanted to go to New Zealand, and I wanted to backpack for 90 days. So I did a semester abroad in New Zealand through NOLS, and when I came back and I was graduating college in 2014, I wanted to continue that. NOLS had a huge impact on my life. I learned skills that I thought I could never obtain, that I could never learn, and I learned them all, and I learned to do them all very well. So I thought that I wanted to do AmeriCorps because I was going to continue that leadership education, I was going to get real work experience, and I was going to set myself up to be an excellent employable candidate for any job that I wanted. So I signed up to do a 900-hour contract with the Nevada Conservation Corps up in Lake Tahoe on a chainsaw crew. And after that term of service, that greatly impacted my life, where you learn to just be, as you all know, as you're in AmeriCorps, just completely selfless. And you just learn how to get things done. You learn how to work in a small team. If you're in a conservation corps, live and work outdoors, and just continue that leadership development and your communication skills in real life work setting. And after my term of service in AmeriCorps, I decided that I wanted to go back to NOLS, and I wanted to continue my education and keep applying what I've been learning to even more real-world transferable work skills. So I took a wilderness medicine course to continue that, and from all the courses that I've taken, I feel like I have developed amazing communication skills, that you learn how to listen, talk, and work through problems with other people, which are invaluable skills in today's work world. And so that's kind of what I did. As we've talked to, as I work with, I'm the AmeriCorps advisor here at NOLS. And I speak with a lot of AmeriCorps students just like yourselves every day, or service members every day. It's that everybody says, what am I going to get out of this NOLS course? What am I going to learn? And it's just you're continuing to build your, your leadership and communication skills. And what that shows employers is that, you can work through mental, physical, and individual challenges on any platform. As we all know, our AmeriCorps projects are, can be pretty intense. And showing that you can work through those and be successful at completing those projects is huge, and it's pretty big. Advantages to taking a NOLS course, in applying for jobs is that, you receive a written evaluation of your NOLS course. So you have a hard copy of piece of paper that says what you can do and what you need to work on, which is huge for when you're, making that next step into the work world. And just so doing quick research about, what employers want to see in, their new employees or their candidates, is your ability to work in a team, your ability to make a decision, to problem solve, to communicate, and to listen, obtain, and process information. And between AmeriCorps and a NOLS course, you can absolutely do that. You have gained all of those skills, and you can easily transfer them into any job that you'd like to complete. So that's kind of my story and kind of how I ended up actually working for NOLS too, was that, I think that what AmeriCorps can teach and what NOLS can teach is just completely invaluable information and can set you up for success in anything that you want to do. If you'd like to reach out to us, please feel free to visit our website at www.nols.edu. Please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Amy Mounts, and I'd be happy to talk with you more about finding the right NOLS course for you to continue your leadership education.
Woohoo! Thank you guys so much. That was an incredible amount of really, really wonderful information. Before I let you both go, I wanted to lob a couple of questions your way that came up as you were both speaking that I think, are pretty good for the general group. So Kiki Litchford asks, what can you do with a wilderness medicine certification, like career-wise?
Yeah, I'd be happy to field that question. So you can do a lot of different things with the wilderness medicine certification. So with a wilderness first responder, you can work at a summer camp, in a school, as a park ranger, U.S. Forest Service, and even in the Bureau of Land Management. When you receive a WEMT, you are registered as a National Registered Emergency Medical Technician, so you can work on an ambulance and in a hospital too. And the WFR, the Wilderness First Responder, is the highest level of wilderness medicine certification that one can obtain. So with that certification, you can, pretty much apply for any outdoor job in the outdoor industry.
Oh, awesome. I didn't even know that. That's really good to know. Thank you. Let's see. So we've also got a question here from Alicia Gomez, who says, for the skiing or snowboarding options, should I already know how to do either of those if I want to take the course? That's a good question, because I don't know how to do either, but it does sound appealing.
I am happy to answer that question, and the answer is no. You don't need to know how to ski or snowboard or, frankly, to do any of the skills that we teach on our NOLS courses before you come. It is a benefit, especially for skiing and snowboarding, if you do decide to do one of those courses, to try to get a little experience ahead of time. But we are going to teach everything from the very basics. And so you don't need to come in with any experience at all. You just have to be willing to learn, willing to work through challenges, and yeah, excited to be in the wilderness for an extended period of time. So yeah, you can come to NOLS as a complete beginner, no experience required.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Low barriers to entry. I really like that. So another question that we have in here, we'll do one more, and then we'll go on to Jason so we can hear more about the wonderful Outward Bound program. But one more is, can the Education Award cover flights to get to and from the different locations for NOLS courses? I don't think it can, but I'd like to hear what you know.
Yeah, so I'm happy to answer that question too. This is Libby. Yeah, so there is the possibility of that, but there are restrictions. And so if you want to use your AmeriCorps Education Award, say you use $2,000 of it for your NOLS course, and then you want to use what you have left over to go toward flights or travel, what you need to do is to contact Western State Colorado University about that. Western is going to be able to tell you what the restrictions on that are. Not everyone will qualify. Some of the limitations that I've heard about are travel days. You can't travel to your course location months in advance and travel home months afterward. They need you to travel within a certain time frame before and after your course concludes. And there are some other limitations as well. So I think it is a possibility, but there are limitations and stipulations to that Western could tell you more about. And it is a reimbursement process, and so it would not be able to go directly toward your flights, but you may be able to get reimbursed for a portion of them should you qualify.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that answer. And it sounds like if folks have further questions about these things, they should Oh, man, I'm so sorry. They should email admissions@nols.edu, and maybe it's that email address, whoever's on the other end can help them get connected with the appropriate resources.
Absolutely. Yeah, Calvin, they can email admissions@nols.edu, and those emails will get bumped to either Amy or I, and yeah, we'd be happy to answer any other questions that come up. I can see a few more popping up there, and so shoot us an email. We will definitely get back to you and let you know the answers to your questions.
Awesome. And then as we're going through Jason's, Amy and Libby, please feel free to answer the questions in the Q&A, and we'll keep it moving. And we'll talk to Jason. So hello, Jason. So glad you could join us.
Hey there. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you today.
Of course. We're so glad that you made the time to be here with us. Outward Bound, I know, is a wonderful program. I've got plenty of friends who have done the program and who have, stickers on their water bottles from Outward Bound. And I think I might have rubbed elbows with Outward Bound a few times when I was in AmeriCorps and CCC. So that being said, I'm going to let you take it away and tell us more. Thanks.
Great. I might need some quick technical. I'm trying to get the notes on my screen. I had them on my screen when we did this last week, and I can't find them right now.
Oh, no. Let's see. I'm not sure how to.
It might have been because I was in control last time.
Yeah, that might be
control.
That might be it. But if we can't figure out how to get them up, let's see. We may wing it and just do it from memory.
Nope, I got the notes now.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Hey, y'all. Again, yeah, my name is Jason Schmidt. I'm here with Outward Bound. I'm in San Francisco, California right now. That's where I work. I'm also an AmeriCorps alumni. AmeriCorps is this defining point in my life. I learned the value of service there and the purpose that one feels from going to work with a group of dedicated, compassionate individuals. My year of service started in 2004. I did NCCC in Charleston, South Carolina, and it was an amazing time. My team has remained close, and all of us continue to serve. And I hope that all of you all are fortunate enough to have a similar experience. And I want to appreciate each and every one of you for spending time doing the immensely important work that you're doing during your AmeriCorps term. When I was in AmeriCorps, I talked to Outward Bound at my Life After AmeriCorps fair and learned a bit about it and went and started working at Outward Bound back in 2007 in North Carolina. And since then, I've been able to spend probably over 1,500 nights sleeping outside in many locations across the United States, helping folks become their best selves through expeditionary learning, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. Nowadays, I spend more time indoors as the Associate Program Director for Outward Bound, California. Quickly about Outward Bound, the founder of Outward Bound was a man named Kurt Hahn. He's a German educator and now a part of pop culture because he was in season 2 of The Crown. Kurt Hahn, like AmeriCorps, was concerned with creating a better world. He started many schools, including Outward Bound, along with his childhood friend and educator, Marina Ewald. Their ideas were the foundation for modern experiential and expeditionary learning and an inspiration for many others programs that have modeled off of Kurt Hahn's ideas. Also, like the AmeriCorps Vista program, Hahn believed that the best way to appeal to someone to serve was to say, go where you are needed. And so Outward Bound is the leading provider of experiential and outdoor education programs for youth and adults. Regardless of who you are or where you are from, there is an Outward Bound course at an Outward Bound school that is right for you. You can experience Outward Bound on one of our backpacking trips, mountaineering trips, whitewater rafting trips, canoeing trips, dog sledding expeditions, sailing trips, and many more offerings that we have and that I'm going to tell you about today. We're going to start, though, discussing the Education Award. Similar to NOLS, how you use your education award for Outward Bound is through our partnership with Western State. And if you want any more information on that, and they've talked about it a bit already, and we're going to talk about it more later on in this webinar, you can consult with our Outward Bound admissions advisors about course options that are ranging from anywhere from 7 days to 85 days, and make your choice and register for that course. Let them know that you wish to use the Segal AmeriCorps Education Award, and they will help guide you through the easy follow-up steps, step-by-step process to complete. This process is found both on our website and also on that of Western State Colorado University's website. So some of the options for folks in your position, AmeriCorps alums who are adults. We have classic adult courses. These are designed for adults ages 18 and up. These classic wilderness adventure expeditions are about recapturing the enthusiasm of doing something new, different, and difficult. Participants tackle personal and physical challenges and rediscover their strength and energy, where they focus on wellness and skill building. Classic adult courses instill a fresh sense of confidence and clarity. And these courses can be anywhere from 7 days to up to 30+ days long. And the prices can range anywhere from about $1,500 to about $5,000, which would probably be the majority of your award there, your education award. And the photo that you see are just 3 of the many options that are out there. We also have gap year and semester courses. So these are a little bit longer than those standard classic adult courses. These courses can be anywhere from 45 days to 85 days. And course components might be mountaineering to dog sledding to swimming with dolphins. Outward Bound courses offer opportunities for you to develop real-world decision-making, group management, and leadership skills in spectacular settings that will challenge and inspire you. Of course, again, the price range of these longer courses might be anywhere from $7,000 to $14,000 for the much longer trips. And Outward Bound is accredited with the American Gap Association, and we are the longest running program in that elite group of dedicated to providing supportive, meaningful, and high caliber educational experiences to students. And we also have outdoor educator expeditions. Our outdoor educator courses are specifically designed to produce the best outdoor educators in the industry. Becoming an outdoor educator takes hard work and a certain strength of character that is earned, not given. These expeditions offer hands-on teaching experience so participants can develop top-notch technical skills. With an emphasis on student dynamics, group and individual facilitation, and safety and risk management. Instructor courses prepare future instructors to be elite leaders and compassionate educators with proven and practical expertise. And again, here's just a few of the options that are out there. And I know there was some conversation and some questions about the wilderness first responder and what can I do with that, where can I get that. Many of these courses include that 80 hours of wilderness first responder training as part of the curriculum of those anywhere from 50 to 65 days usually courses. And these courses range in price from anywhere around $7,000 to about $10,000. And you should know too that Outward Bound offers a needs-based scholarship. And so don't let if the price seems like it's a little bit beyond what your education award is going to cover by itself, you should still, at least if you're really excited about Outward Bound, you should reach out and see what can be done. On our semester course that happens here in California, we regularly have anywhere from 1 to 3 people that are on that trip that have received a full scholarship without even having an AmeriCorps award to put towards it in the first place. So just know that we do have scholarships available for folks. I also just wanted to talk to you a bit about Outward Bound and the landscape of outdoor education as a career opportunity for you. I think that AmeriCorps people make really great outdoor educators. And many AmeriCorps members have decided to keep getting things done with Outward Bound as a career choice in their life after AmeriCorps, myself included. Outward Bound offers the opportunity to continue to work for a mission-driven organization with colleagues who are also passionate about working to make the world a better place. When I was in AmeriCorps and was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do, I wanted to get paid to go backpacking and do expeditions, and I was drawn to Outward Bound because service was a component of the programs listed in their catalog. And indeed, service has its own page on our website even today. Outward Bound has afforded me the ability to continue to live my values through my work. Some of those values initially discovered from my time in AmeriCorps. It will allow you to continue fulfilling worthwhile work in the best office in the world. Here's just a photo of some AmeriCorps members and some Outward Bound students. We did a beach cleanup project here in San Francisco. So working for Outward Bound will allow you to continue fulfilling worthwhile work in the best office in the world, whether that is in the ocean, in the mountains, or in the city. And several regional bases in 2017 were listed in outside best places to work, and a couple of those bases, that was their second year in a row of being listed as one of Outward Bound, or one of the best places to work by Outside Magazine. Again, I really just want to thank you for your time. Feel free to visit our website for more information. There's also more information about how to use the Education Award. And if you're interested in talking about getting into experiential or outdoor education, I can chat my personal email address as well. And you can reach out to me. I've been in outdoor education for 15 years now, including conservation corps and Outward Bound and some other programs. And so I just do know a lot about the landscape and can help you find what's right for you or answer questions that you might have as an individual. Again, thank you for your time, and I'm going to pass it back.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jason. That is also like really, really wonderful information. Outward Bound seems like a good time. That seems, I'm into both of these programs. This is, if I didn't already use my education award, I would be signing up tomorrow, honestly. All right, so we're going to go into, thanks, Jason, for putting your email address in there. So if you have questions, you can reach out there. We did have a question from Pamela that I really like. What is available for seniors who are maybe not in outdoor shape for climbing and sleeping in the snow? I think I might have seen a couple of programs that were maybe less strenuous. Is that correct, Jason? Or even Amy?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and our course advisors will help direct people towards the program that's going to be most suitable for them, especially if they have some sort of concerns about their physical ability or maybe not wanting to deal with sleeping in the snow because that sounds cold. For example, a sea kayaking course or a flat water canoeing course potentially is less physically demanding than pushing a dog sled through the frozen northern Minnesota Boundary Waters area. And we also have, this is great, I guess, forget that not all AmeriCorps Vista members are necessarily like college-age folks. We also have Outward Bound programs that are designated towards adults that are like, it's called like an adult renewal course. And they're often like 4 days long, and I think everyone has to be 35 years old to go on one of those trips. And so it just sort of like gets people that are more in a different part of their life than maybe somebody that's just graduating high school or college, getting that group out there. And the oldest person I've probably had on a trip was somebody in their late 60s before, early 70s. Outward Bound is free. We do free, tuition-free trips for veterans, and I had a Vietnam veteran once that was, I think, probably my oldest student I've ever had. And we have lots of instructors that are also in their 60s. And so there's definitely, like, talk to a course advisor and they'll help you find what's right for you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so before we get to our final Q&A portion, and FYI, everyone, if you have questions, you can go ahead and put those into the Q&A panel, and we'll queue them up. But I want to say, while we can't really go into the full heavy detail about the Education Award, we have many places that do go into like the nitty-gritty of it. For example, we have recorded webinars on the general use of the Education Award and managing student loans on the Vista campus. And additionally, you can check out, the Vista campus, the FAFSA website, and nationalservice.gov for tons and tons of information regarding the Education Award, its use, matching institutions, all of that good stuff. So go check out all those resources. They are plentiful, and I think you'll find that they really give you all the answers that you need. All right. So, so as we're wrapping up, there's going to be a poll that appears to the right side of your screen. Please take a moment to share your feedback on this webinar. I look at all of the comments and I pour over these polls to make sure that we're giving you content that is relevant, that you need. If you have ideas for future webinars, please let us know anything that you'd like to see or any resources that you might want. This is going to be up throughout the remainder of the presentation and throughout the Q&A, so you'll have an opportunity to fill that out as long as we're here. All right, so let's get to our final Q&A portion. If you have questions, you can put them into the Q&A panel, and I'll ask our operator to let everyone know how to ask questions via the phone. Operator?
Thank you. If you wish to ask a question, please press *1, unmute your phone, and record your name clearly. If you need to withdraw your question, press *2. Again, to ask a question, please press *1 and record your name. Your name is required to introduce your question. Please stand by for questions.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so Oscar in here says, Jason spoke about Outward Bound. Please send me your email address. Oscar, he dropped his email address into the chat box, but I will go ahead and send that to you directly. Jose Rivera, so you submitted a statement with a question mark, but I don't think it's a question. It says tuition-free veterans. I'm not sure what the question is there. Is it how does this work with that? If you could give a little more specificity, I'm sure we can try to work towards an answer.
I think that question was for me. I just mentioned that we do trips for veterans for free when I was talking about age of folks. Yeah, there's an Outward Bound. Like if you Google Outward Bound Veterans, you would find the Outward Bound Veterans page, and they're 6-day programs. They're all over the country if you happen to be a veteran. And again, you can talk to course advisors, and they would help you sign up for that trip. And those programs do pay for airfare and hotels on either end. Like they are very much free all around. I think there's like $100 deposit or something just so you have a little bit of skin in the game.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even catch that. Okay, so we've got Sarah here with a question. She says, can the award be used for airfare if we're flying to an eligible program abroad because some of these countries have free or extremely low-cost tuition? Sarah, again, so if you're looking to maybe do a study abroad program through a university, if the cost of your travel is wrapped into the cost of your attendance, then yes, you can use the Education Award to pay for that. But again, it has to be like in your cost of attendance. So when you look at your bill from your college, you see, room and board, tuition, taxes, fees, all that stuff. If you're, maybe taking a course that is abroad and maybe the fees for that course are inclusive of airfare, then yes, then that's how that would work. But if you are hoping to attend a college somewhere, in maybe in Europe, where your tuition is free or very low, you may be out of pocket for the expenses of actually getting there and returning if that's not wrapped into your cost of attendance. I think this question, and it looks like we answered it in the Q&A, but I think it's a good question to ask. I think this was for Amy and Libby. You mentioned that there's a $2,000 match, up to $2,000 match for a NOLS program, and the person asked, it was Mary Kate McKenna. She said, is the $2,000 match only for Vista members?
Calvin, this is Libby. Yeah, I can definitely answer that question. No, it is not just for VISTA members. If you have an AmeriCorps Education Award that you'd like to use at NOLS, we will match that award regardless of where it came from, basically.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. I'm not seeing many other questions. Kate here said, can you give more information on yoga teacher training? And someone actually sent me very recently, oh man, where'd it go? I'm sorry, I had your question up and then I lost it. It was the Southwest Institute of the Healing Arts. They are actually a Title IV institution, and you can use your education award towards their yoga teacher training. So that's pretty cool if you want to do that. Let's see, we have a question from Meredith who says, is there something that can be done for online schools like Udacity to get into the Title IV list? So I'm not exactly sure how schools are, how you become a Title IV institution. I think it has to do with like accreditation and all that stuff, but that's something that you should research and look into. So I don't really know how that part works of that. But there are lots of like, online universities and things that are on the Title IV institution list. Let's see, Jessica Leibowitz, what's the link for your talk on taxes and the Ed Award? So that's a good question. If you look at the VISTA campus and you search for taxes, you will find it. Yeah, you'll find it, and if someone can find it first, oh, here it is, VISTA benefits and taxes, just the basics. I will send that to you. I'll answer your question with a link to that, so there you go. Oh, this is a question for our NOLS folks and our Outward Bound folks. Will we have to undergo a medical checkup before going to NOLS or Outward Bound on an adventure, on a trip?
Yeah, this is Amy. I can go ahead and answer that question. Yes, you'll need to make a visit to your primary doctor or to a walk-in clinic just to make sure that you are good to go on your course. It's just a small medical review. We just want to make sure that you are going to be happy, healthy, and safe out on a course with us. So yes, you will have to go to some sort of doctor's visit to get your form signed off on.
Awesome. Jason, is that the same for Outward Bound?
Yeah, pretty similar. We just want to know your health history a little bit, anything that's important for instructors to know in the field, especially things like, what you may or may not be allergic to, so that we can take care of you the best we can out there.
Awesome, thank you. That's an excellent question. I didn't even think of that. A quick one, so the Education Award is good for 7 years from Justin Bedox. That is correct, it's good for 7 years. Let's see, Amanda says, can you apply even if you've earned your BA already? I majored in anthropology but never got the chance to go to anthropological archaeological field school and would like the opportunity to. Yeah, so even if you've already earned a degree, you're able to continue your education and attend a program or attend one of these courses. For NOLS and Outward Bound, I believe your previous education doesn't factor into whether you can go or not. And if you're looking, to do this maybe through a college or university, you are able to just enroll, maybe as a person taking one class or even auditing a class and use your education award to pay for that. Let's see. Ronald Little says he has a two-part question. How much are the room and board for these programs, and are there programs that are geared to people with physical disabilities? Yeah, I think that's that's a good question. Go ahead.
I shared, as I was going through, I shared the tuition requirements for our programs, and again, they were anywhere from about $1,500 for the programs that are probably, usually it's closely associated with how long the program is, sometimes with where the program's happening, but typically with course length. And so anywhere from like about $1,500 to, $14,000 for the longer trips. We do not have courses right now that are specifically for folks with certain physical disabilities or like that's what they're marketed towards. We take those on a case-by-case basis, right? Like it really would depend what the disability is. For example, somebody that is in a wheelchair may not be appropriate for a mountaineering trip that involves a lot of off-trail walking, right? So it's really a case-by-case thing. And you would talk to the, when you go through that medical screening that we were talking about, we have student services members that would talk to you and discuss those concerns with you and find out what programs may be appropriate for you based on your physical abilities.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's an excellent question. Let's see. Abby says, can you use the Education Award for programs like Road Scholar? They seem similar to NOLS and Outward Bound, but less outdoors and more travel education focused. Abby, I'm not familiar with Road Scholar, but again, that's the thing. Like the overarching principle here is that if it's a program that is run through or that you pay through a Title IV institution, you're able to do that program. So if Road Scholar is run out of like University of Texas, and you can sign up through the University of Texas, and they can receive your payment, then yes, you can do that. That's really the whole trick to the Education Award and using it in a way that you'd like to is that it has to be routed through a Title IV institution. Megan Tetro says, do you have to be accepted to West Colorado State University in order to participate in one of the programs, or would you be considered a non-matriculated student?
I can answer that question, Calvin. So you do not have to be accepted to Western State Colorado University in order to participate in NOLS. You are considered a non-matriculated student because, it sounds like you probably know, you're not going to be a degree-seeking student at Western. You're just earning credits for a NOLS course through them. And so the way that that will work is that you will apply online and pay only for their credits. And so you're not paying for any of the other costs and fees associated with attending that school on campus. You're just paying for the credits. For NOLS, it's $125 per credit in order to use your AmeriCorps award at NOLS.
Oh, good info. Thank you. And then I believe I saw one more question here. It says, can you use the Education Award for living expenses for grad school, vocational schools? If you're enrolled in school, does the award just go into your bank account, or do you need to justify everything you're buying? More the second one and not so much the first one. The Education Award, again, does not go to your bank account. It sits in sort of like its own little account, and you draw from those funds when you need to make a payment on a qualified loan, or you need to pay for educational expenses through your Title IV institution. So those funds don't just go directly to you, they go directly to the institution or the place where you're paying your student loans. So if you're in grad school, if you have expenses that are wrapped into your cost of attendance and you send your Education Award to your university, how those funds are distributed and dispersed amongst all of your expenses is going to be between you and the institution, but the money does not just go directly to you. I'll check with the operator to see if we have any questions on the phone.
Thank you. There are no questions on the phone at this time.
Awesome. Thank you. It looks like there's one more question in queue, but I'm going to direct this question to connect with me offline. Jen Serene, I'll send you my email address. It's vistatrainingsupport@cns.gov, and we can connect about your thing offline because I don't, it seems like maybe a more personal issue, so we can talk about that later. I think we've gotten through all the questions. So I want to say thank you once again to Jason and Libby and Amy for being here with us today and sharing all this wonderful information. I hope everyone that was able to join us today hopefully got some new info. I see a comment here from Amanda who says, I'm not sure what it's in reference to, but she says, this info opens so many windows now. And I hope that's what you're getting. That's why we wanted to do it, to show you that there are so many things you can do with your Education Award that aren't maybe directly paying for loans or paying for, your school. You can pay for, programs that are run through universities, or you can go on trips. You can do all these things with your Education Award. So thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today. If you have further questions, again, you can contact Vista Training Support at cns.gov, and that'll be up on a slide in just a second. That's the next slide, I think. And you can, connect, and I will probably be answering those directly. So if you email that email address, I'll be back with you. Let's see. I'll go to Amy and Libby first. Any final parting words?
No, you know, we're really excited that we had the opportunity to talk to all of you guys today. We really love having AmeriCorps alum on our courses. You guys make great additions to our courses and have always really added a lot to the culture at NOLS. And so we'd love to have you come take a semester, take a year-long course, take a WUFA, anything that sparks your interest. Yeah, we hope to hear from you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we hope.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, sorry. That's all right. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're always really excited. So much fun to work with AmeriCorps members, especially after, you know, all of your service. It's amazing to, you know, just continue upon your skills and explore other interests. And always feel free to reach out to us even if you want to learn just a little bit more about NOLS. Any of our admissions officers, marketing reps, anybody here in the office is more than happy to talk to you and see if NOLS is the right place for you and help you find the right course.
Ooh, thank you. What about you, Jason? Any parting words?
Thanks for having me here today to talk about Outward Bound, and again, thank you all for your year of service and hopefully more years of service after this.
All right, well, there we have it. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. Our next webinar is going to be Dodging Pitfalls when Running a Community Meeting, and that's going to be Tuesday, May 22nd. You can sign up for that at on the Vista campus, or be looking out for an email from Vista program to sign up for that. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.